Hey, welcome back for our last bridge demo. So we're going to be talking about the absolute last finishing touch to creating a successful bridge. So the last time we spoke, I was joining the two sides to the top of the bridge, the road deck. So I had this bridge taped up upside down on my board as the glue is drying. So once the glue is dry, I untaped the whole thing. I don't want to have the tape on it. The tape makes it heavy without making it strong. So I untaped all of that, and now this is what I'm left with. One little finishing touch to that step that I could try now that it's dry is I just kind of want to try to look at the seams to make sure that they are really touching the bridge all the way around, that they don't seem like they're going to fall off on both sides. I like to hold it up to the light and see if I could see through any of the little spots. And on this bridge, I can see there's a little light showing through right there. I don't know if you guys can see that on the video, just a little bit right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some glue and I'm going to fill that in and kind of let it get sticky, and then I'll just do it again, and the glue will stick to itself and fill in that gap. So if you have a small gap on the corner, that could be a way to kind of mend it before you move on. Now, right now, this bridge is feeling like more of a complete shape, but it's got some flexibility. I don't know if you can see that, but it's got a little flexibility. It can move. I don't want to squeeze this too hard and break it by accident, but it can move just a little bit. And I want to make this more rigid, so that it feels like one solid piece instead of three pieces that are joined together. So I'm going to show you a couple of different examples of bridges from the past, because when we do the finishing touches, we call it the substructure because it's the bottom of the bridge. The substructure could basically be whatever you want, but that hole right in the middle, when you look through it, you should not be able to see any of the substructure. So that hole is for part of the testing equipment, and we need to leave that space open so that it can pass through and have a hook on the bottom to put the weights. So we don't want to have anything that gets in the way. We do also want to make sure that everything's symmetrical. So whatever you do on one half of the bridge, you want to do the exact same thing on the other half of the bridge. So let's take a look at some bridges from the past. So this is a pretty simple example. It's got some kind of like slats, almost like a ladder, it looks like, that are placed along the bottom rail of the bridge. And this was just built upside down. So I cut these out so that they would fit. I put a little glue on each end, and I just placed them on either side. And I put, one on each corner, and then two around the hole that I had punched in it. Now there's also some X's. I don't know if you guys can see that. There we go. We look down the bridge. There are some X's that were built, one on either side of the hole. Now I've got a slight variation to this. So this is another one where it's got some flat pieces on the bottom, and it's got zigzags. So there's one angle here and another angle there, and then another one. But when you look down it, it looks like X's, but they're actually spaced out. There's a good way to hold it so you can see. And they're just cut to the size that it needs to be, glue on each end, and they're just like leaned back and forth in there. Just the easiest way to install it. And again, we're probably doing this step with the whole bridge upside down. Now I have two other examples here that are a little more creative. This one actually built some 3D shapes on the inside of the bridge. So it's kind of like two little wedge shapes that stick up, one on either side. They're painted blue, or colored in blue, I should say. So there's one here, one there. That's a pretty cool idea. This is a bridge that's already been tested, so it does look like it's a little busted up because it is. And then this one right here, it's kind of the opposite. So instead of the point facing down, this one, the point is facing up towards the hole that's in the center of the bridge. So that area is still open. So this is still legal. but it's kind of like two X's that are like leaned back. So they kind of lean back and create kind of like a 3D shape. So your substructure can go along the bottom of the bridge. I've had people make entire trusses along the bottom of the bridge. You can have your substructure be in between the two sides of the bridge. But one way or another, we want to basically connect the left and the right side of the bridge together, or side one and side two, however you want to think of it. So that way it forms a much more rigid shape. And if I took one of these that's not broken and I tried to do the same thing and wiggle the two sides, I just can't do it. This feels like one solid piece and not three sections that were glued together. Okay. Now this step probably will not take an entire period. So once it's done, we want to leave it upside down and just let it dry. The less we handle it at that point, the better, until it dries and it's as strong as possible. Okay, so the next time we talk, we're going to be talking about evaluation, how we're going to test them, and then how we're going to use that data to decide how strong the bridge was. All right, see you later. Bye.